What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and joining me for this very quick discussion. Hopefully, I can make it quick on some hot topics that I wanted to talk about. So, the first thing, which is the most important one of all, is Brentt Leaks, the 23-year-old son of Nene Leaks from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her son recently suffered a stroke and some type of heart failure or heart attack. Now, I don't know if he suffered both within the same day or if there were days apart. I'm not really sure. But right now, at the age of 23, he is really going through it. So, much prayer out to Brentt Leaks and his whole entire family. And I know that with Nene, she must be going through a very difficult time right now because she lost her husband and now her youngest son suffered, these two very devastating medical conditions in a very short period of time. So Nene Leakes she had actually spoken out about this, and she has said that normally when someone is only 23 years old and they have both a heart attack and a stroke, it's usually because of drugs, alcohol, maybe even HIV. But she says that her son had none of the above. He was not a drug user, he wasn't excessively consuming alcohol, and that he didn't have HIV. So the next possible reason could have been complications from C19. I don't know if that was the cause of him having both a heart attack and the stroke. Another possibility is congenital heart defect or some type of a congenital heart issue that he was possibly born with. So I'm assuming right now the doctors are running a lot of tests on him because it is extremely unusual that someone so young would go through something like this. Even if he just had one or the other, that would have been shocking in itself, but he unfortunately suffered from both. So, like I said before, much prayer to Brentt Leaks. I hope that I wish for him to have a very speedy recovery, and that these two medical conditions don't leave any type of long lasting effect on his physical health. Nene said that she didn't want to go into details about what happened or how she found out, and she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to at all. The only thing that she has to do is just to be there for her son. So, yes, we do wish Brentt Leaks a very speedy and healthy recovery. The only thing that we have in life that really matter is the quality of life that we live. It's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's not about who you know, it's just about the quality of life that we live. So, now that we have talked about something as important as that, let's get into the tomfoolery. Kanye West, he was suspended from Twitter recently. The reason for his suspension was because he tweeted something that was extremely controversial and very racist. He wrote that he wanted to go DEFCON 3 on Jews. What is going on with Kanye West? There have been several reports that he's having some type of a mental breakdown. The people close to him are very concerned about his mental health. So, what's being done about it? So he got suspended from Twitter. This Twitter suspension comes soon after he was suspended from Instagram. So about a week ago or so, he was suspended from Instagram for also making anti-Jewish remarks. He was accused of posting a text message exchange between him and P. Diddy. And in this text message exchange, Kanye sent a message to P. Diddy accusing P. Diddy of being controlled by the Jews. So then he got suspended from Instagram. So then he went to Twitter. Elon Musk, who I think, is still in the process of owning Twitter, taking over Twitter. I don't know if that's been official yet because there's been some back and forth legalities between him and Twitter. So I don't know if Elon Musk is the official owner of Twitter. I don't think he is. I think they're still trying to work out the kinks in court. But he welcomed Kanye West back to Twitter because Kanye West was suspended from Twitter previously. So he welcomed him back, and as soon as he welcomes him back, Kanye West posts, this very offensive remark. And also there's controversy with when he went to his own fashion show, he showed up in a t-shirt where it said White Lives Matter. And because of that, Adidas said that their relationship or their partnership now is under review. And then there's also these issues that he's having with Kim Kardashian and the children and the custody battle. He's out there on social media claiming that Kim is not allowing him to see his children. He said that Kim didn't allow him to go to one of the children's birthday party. Khloe jumped into the mix in defense of her sister, saying that you were the one that wanted two separate birthday parties. So what are you talking about? Kim didn't let you to her birthday party. So there's just a lot going on with Kanye right now. I don't know exactly what's causing all of this bizarre behavior. But if the people around him are suspecting that he is having some type of a psychotic break, please get this man the help that he needs, because the most important thing that it's gonna interfere with, it's not his money, because that's always gonna be there. It's not his reputation. It's not his fame. It's gonna be the relationship with his children. That's what's gonna be affected above all. So the people around him, his group, his entourage, family, friends, whoever, try to help get this man the help that he needs. And I understand, because he's as powerful as he is, he probably doesn't have anybody around him to tell him no or to tell him what's good for him. So I'm pretty sure that they're battling to try to get him the help that he needs, and maybe he's refusing it. But it is just really, really sad. We have all of these icons that are just going down the toilet. You know, people who we admired, people who we respected, people who we looked at their work and, you know, enjoyed it, liked it, gave money for it. For example, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Now Kanye West is having a whole lot of issues. And I'm surprised that Kanye West was not immediately canceled when he came out with these very controversial remarks about his feelings towards the Jewish people. I'm surprised that he wasn't canceled, because if someone who is not black said that about black people or any other minority group or people of color, I'm pretty sure they would have been canceled immediately. If someone put on Twitter, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on blacks, someone, especially someone of like Kanye West's status. So I'm just shocked that he hasn't been canceled yet. Like what's going on? I have no idea. Along this same topic of controversial racial slurs, let's bring it down a notch and talk about a local city council member by the name of Nury Martínez. She is a Democrat of the LA City Council. She's actually the city council president of LA. She's accused of making racist and homophobic slurs that were caught on audio. She expressed a dislike of the LA district attorney by the name of George Gaskin. Her remarks about Gaskin, which she verbalized and which was caught on tape, she said, "F that guy, he's with the blacks." She said that. I'm not sure if it was in a city council meeting or where she was at or what was going on when these things were said, but she very comfortably said, "F that guy, he's with the blacks." She also called a fellow city council member by the name of Mike Bonin. She called him a little B, and she described his adopted son, who is black, as a little monkey. Mike Bonin I think he's a gay man who adopted a child, and this city council president, Nury Martínez, referred to Mr. Bonin as a little b, and then referred to his child as a little monkey. She went further on to say, she wasn't done. She went further on to say, still talking about this council member's son, she referred to the child as an accessory when Bonin and his son were featured on a float for the Martin Luther King parade. She also referred to the child as, she said something in Spanish, which I read was a racial slur, so I'm not going to say it here. But she referred to the child as a racial slur, but she said it in Spanish when she was referring to the child. And she also said that the child deserved a beat down because evidently the child was acting up or misbehaving or something. She said that if it was her child, she would have taken him behind a building and given him a beat down. Of course, she did the obligatory apology. And she resigned her post as city council president, but not her seat on the council. So a lot of people are calling for her to step down completely from the city council. A large group of Latino protesters showed up at her home playing audio of her disturbing comments on a loudspeaker and demanded for her full resignation. Now, what's most disturbing about the things that she said about the child is that before she became a council member, she used to be on the board of the Los Angeles Unified School District trustee, a member of the Los Angeles Unified School District trustee. So she was working, with children, working with school districts in LA, and then she refers to this council member's son, and she, said that horrible thing about the little boy. And I think the little boy is pretty young. I want to say at the time when she said these comments, he was 2, but I'm not sure. So it's just awful. Like, you're a leader, you're a city council leader in the city of LA, which is like probably one of the biggest racially mixed cities, maybe in the world. And you're very freely and comfortably saying these remarks. I'm pretty sure you knew that you were. She must have known. Did she know that she was recorded, or maybe that she was secretly being recorded? But regardless, you're with other people. You're around other people, and you're saying things like this. It's just like, it's insane how a city council member can talk. And of course, I missed the biggest point of all, the fact that she herself is a person of color, referring to other people of color in the same way. Our struggles are different, but we definitely have struggles, being black and being brown. We definitely have very similar struggles, but we also have different struggles. But either way, it's a struggle to be a person of color. In this country, we all have experienced some form of racism, prejudice, etc. And here you are, a woman of color, and this is your belief. This is how you think. This is what you believe in. And you fool the people. You fool the people. But what do they always say? You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool all the people some of the time. And you can fool some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And so you couldn't fool them all this time. You were fooling them before, but you couldn't fool them all this time. Now that we got the important stuff out of the way, let's get into some entertainment tomfoolery. Let's talk about Mia Thornton of The Real Housewives of Potomac. So, The Real Housewives of Potomac has started. A new season has begun this past Sunday night. We saw episode 1 of season whatever, I think season 7. And so she is a hot topic right now. Not only are people talking about her medical situation when she had posted on her Instagram that she had to go run some tests at Johns Hopkins Cancer Center. To me, I think that something came up in her medical examination and her doctor wanted her to get it checked out, or they sent a biopsy or whatever. I mean, I feel like there's some validity to what she said. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people think that she just said whatever she said to get attention, implying that maybe she may have cancer or there may be something very serious going on with her, that she was just doing it to get attention. She really doesn't have cancer, didn't really have a threat or a scare of having cancer. But I think I mean, I can imagine it could be possible that something came up in her examination and her doctor was like, okay, let's get this checked out. And maybe she had to have further tests done at Johns Hopkins. And maybe those tests came out, I don't know if they came out negative or positive, I don't know. At the end of episode 1, she talked about how she may have lymphoma. To me, it sounded like she said that she had lymphoma, but I don't know for sure. So it's possible that, at the very least, she probably had to get some tests done. Anyways, another controversy that she's facing right now is that her brother-in-laws, her husband Gordon, his brothers, have revoked Gordon's access to the company account. Mia and her husband Gordon started a chiropractic business, and evidently they have franchises. I don't know if it's nationwide or just in the Potomac area. I'm not really sure, but they have several franchises of this chiropractic business. So Gordon's brothers have revoked Gordon's access to the company account. Mia said via Instagram, back on social media, she said that her salary will no longer continue from the company past next payroll due to her loyalty to Gordon. So I guess she's saying that because she's standing by her husband must be having some type of a dispute with his brothers. And so she's deciding to stand by her man, and because she's standing by her man, they're also her brother-in-laws are also going to stop her bag, stop her money from flowing and prevent her from getting paid. She claims that they were robbed of everything they own. I think she meant that figuratively and not literally. She also said that she and Gordon had built the chiropractic business from the ground up. They're the ones that started it, according to Mia. Her and Gordon started this business, and they have been allowing family members to become a part of this business ever since 2013. The brothers have not responded to Mia's claim. So my assumption is, and I know I shouldn't assume, but my assumption is that because when I see Gordon, when I see Gordon on the Real Housewives of Potomac, he's not someone that I would rush to do business with if I wanted to get into business. There's something about Gordon that makes me think that he may be a little bit loosey-goosey with the accounts. The way he talked about strippers and strip clubs and all of this other stuff, and the way he talked about his spending habits on the show, yeah, if I was in business with him, I would be extremely cautious. So he's probably having some type of a dispute with his brothers. I think the brothers collectively got together and decided that they were not going to allow him to have access to the business account because he's probably misappropriating funds or possibly misusing funds, or not using the best judgment when it came to spending the company money. And maybe because Mia was benefiting from how he was spending the company money, she was going to stand by her man. She wasn't going to go against him because she was benefiting from that. I'm not really sure. But I also thought that she had taken over the business because she made it seem like Gordon started the business and now she's running the business. Like, she completely took over. She didn't talk about brothers or other family members that were also involved in the joint chiropractic, because that's the name of the company. The name of their business is the joint chiropractic. She didn't talk about any brothers on the show, but evidently there's other members of this business, and they have put their foot down and they have iced out Gordon, which in turn meant icing out Mia. So I don't know if this is going to unfold on the show, because I think this happened recently, and obviously I think that they've wrapped for the season. They're not recording anymore for the season, so it's going to be interesting if this does play out on the actual show. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that his own brothers decided to limit his access to the account, allegedly. Who knows? This is what I read online, and those are my hot topics. Oh, no, it's not. We got one more. Sheree, Whitfield, and Martell Holt finally stepped out officially as a couple recently when they attended Aaron Ross's birthday party. Aaron Ross is the husband of Sonia Ross of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So they came out together. They stepped out together as a couple, letting the world know that we are together. And they're not ashamed. They're not afraid. They're out there. And all I can say is, Sheree, good luck. Good luck. You know his track history. So good luck, girl. Don't put your heart all into it if you want to have fun with the Martell Holt, because he's easy on the eyes and he has a nice body and, he's a whole lot of fun. Then do it. Go for it. Have all the fun you want with the Martell Holt. But please do not get all wrapped up into him. Don't let your emotions get involved in Martell, because you know his track history, and his track history is abysmal. So I don't want to see, and I don't want to hear a couple of months down the line you complaining and lashing out at Martell and sending subliminal messages on your social media and talking crazy about him on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. if it comes back, if you come back, I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear any negativity coming out of your mouth about Martell Holt, because he's a fun time guy. Okay, he's a fun time guy. He's not, this is my man, this is my heart, this is my soul kind of guy. He's a fun time guy. So have your fun with him. I have no problem with that. And then when this is over, when this all ends, because it will, I hope that the statement that you release is going to be, oh, Martell and I have decided to part ways. It's extremely amicable. We will still remain friends. That's what I want to hear. And that is it for my hot topics. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.